All right, so for our first circuit in this workout, we're gonna do a simple squat and sled push. We're gonna show you kind of more of the kettlebell squat today. We're gonna go heavy on that. It can be elevated on the blocks like we've been doing. Again, barbell back squat's fine. Maybe try a landline squat, that would be fun. If you're not really down to do any of those variations, really, the big important message, you're getting the squat, we're gonna try to make it heavy as possible. Okay, so if you're gonna hold a dumbbell or kettlebell, hold it low, don't hold it up here. Not that up here is bad, but we're trying to go a little heavier and hold it down low. So remember, we're trying to move straight up and down. So I'm gonna hold everything tight to my midline. I'm gonna try to let my tailbone beat the kettlebell. So if I lean forward, I can get the kettlebell way down, but that's hinging. And I wanna try to stay straight up and down as much as possible. Taller folks are gonna have a tougher time with this, and I'm pulling myself from right in my groin area and going back up. Start by going shorter, not going quite as deep, and then practicing that and pulling yourself down a little lower each time. Keeping that torso up, and eventually you'll be able to work your way down. You always want to keep those toes in contact with the ground, push it down, spread it out, trying to spread that floor. Okay, push your toes down, pull your knees out. Those two things kind of work against each other to create a lot of tension, and that's where we get our strength. We're gonna go to the sled next. When we do our sled, we're gonna do 2 sets heavy, 2 sets light. So you can do light first. We're gonna try to go sprint down to the end of the turf. Trying to go fast. When we do a heavy, we're trying to make more of a march and a steady pace. We don't want to have short choppy steps, we want to have long, big strides. Okay, so both times we're going to have our arms out. We're going to get our core tight. If you grab a little lower below the, if you're a little shorter, grab a little lower on the posts. And we're having a big, strong drive. Get our knees up, push them straight back. We don't want to see our hips wobble like this. We want to bring our knee up and drive back. Okay, and we're going to push it all the way down. Turn it around and come back. If you don't have a sled, you can push a plate. You can try to push the wall. You can get on a treadmill that's off, hold on to it, and run and make the wheel turn. That's going to kind of tear up the treadmill, but you know, it's not your treadmill. And if it is, well, it's your treadmill. Okay? You can run a sprint outside. Some sort of forward locomotion. We're trying to accelerate, and we got some resistance would be ideal. Okay? So we're going to do 4 rounds of that. We're going to get with these kettlebells. If you're doing the kettlebell squat, we're going to do sets of 10 to 12. If you're really pushing that weight at the end, especially on later sets, and you only get 8, that's fine. So we're not married to any of these numbers, but we're really trying to push that weight, maintain that form though, is paramount. On the sled, up, back, trying to go 30, 40 yards, and then we will rest for 2.5 minutes, and put it up. All right, for the second circuit, we're going to be on dumbbell incline press again. So a quick review, we get up, we use our legs to drive ourselves onto that upper back. We press up, keeping the dumbbells, over top of our shoulders. We don't want to drift back over top of our head. And then we pull back down. Notice how my forearms stay vertical. They don't collapse in towards my chest. I've got tension in my upper back, and I'm pulling straight down with my elbows, opening that chest, pressing straight back up. The dumbbells do not come together at the top. After that, we're going to go straight into what we call the J row. So we're going to have some sort of, I've got the bench here. The same bench is great to use. Some sort of support. All right. Whatever hand is going to have the kettlebell, that leg will be back. It'll be on this side so you can see better. Okay, so whatever hand, my left hand has the kettlebell, so my left leg will be back. I'm bracing hard against my support. I'm going to hold the front side of that kettlebell. Don't try to hold the back side of the middle. Hold the front side, the kettlebell is going to be on its edge, and I roll my hand all the way back to my hip, and I replace. When I replace, I really reach forward as far as I can. Row, replace. Row, replace. Notice I'm being strong on this support hand, driving away. Row, replace. And the big reach each side, we're going to go 10 each side. This circuit is going to be to do a flexed arm pull. So we're going to have an overhand grip, and we're just going to get to the top of the pull-up, and we're going to hold that top position. So we're only going to do this one time. We're going to try to hold as long as we can. If you can't, if you absolutely cannot hold, you can go ahead and get back in that position on the ground using a barbell and having your feet remain on the ground. We're going to use a bench to get up. You can have a friend to help you get up. I want you to jump up, and I want you to get yourself up, and we're going to pull our elbows into our side. We're thinking pulling us to, not thinking pulling us to the bar, pulling the bar to us. So I don't want you to think I'm trying to get up there. Think about I'm pulling that bar to me. Okay? Hang, jump up, and we're going to hold right here. I'm trying to squeeze my feet together, and we're holding as long as we can. And then when we have to, we're going to let that out, go, control that descent, and then we're going to go back to our dumbbell incline press after we have our 2.5, 3 minutes of rest. dumbbell incline press. You have your J row with 10 on each side. Immediately go to the flexed arm hang for as long as you can each time. Get a buddy on there, try to beat your buddy, have a little competition that kind of eggs you on, and try to set a goal and really push yourself. You're gonna have this moment in time, you're like, oh dude, that's awful, I'm out. You can go past that, fight through it, focus back on your breath, focus on beating your friend, whatever it takes, go a little bit longer. For our last circuit, we're gonna have a deficit hip thruster. So I've got myself up on 2 plyo boxes. You can kind of set this up to where you had a bench and some plates, 2 benches, whatever you need. It helps if the back side is a little bit taller than the front side, but that's not imperative. So I'm gonna split this up. My rep scheme is gonna be 8 with my left leg, 8 with my right leg, and then 8 with both legs. But you can get some bands here and add resistance with both legs. You can get a weight here, whatever you want to do, but the important thing is that we're gonna hit that deficit. So I'm gonna try to keep this leg straight, dropping my hips down low, pushing back up. I'm squeezing as hard as I can with this hip, good. I'm really trying to drop low. Now I'm gonna exaggerate my hips going down so my chest is gonna face forward even more so than it normally would. And then I'm gonna lift up about the same place on the extension with the hip. Okay, so 8 there, 8 with the other leg, 6, 7, 8, and then I'll go 8 with both legs, 6, 7, 8. After that, I'm gonna be up. And this is a funny looking dance, but we've all done it today, or this week. So, we're gonna sit in a little squat. I'm gonna keep my hips still. So I'm putting my fingers here to make sure I'm not turning my hips. I'm gonna rotate my foot, get this knee to point in, so that's gonna be internal rotation. Then I'm gonna go back, do it the other side. And I'm trying to keep these hips still, my chest still, while I'm doing that rotation. If you gotta pick your foot up and reset, that's okay. Try to keep that still. You'll notice that you'll wanna turn those hips, that's natural, but use your brain to override that. At that point, we're gonna drag the sled back and down. If you don't have a sled to drag, that's fine. Try to walk backwards, jog backwards up a hill. Even if it's a flat surface, that's fine. Just mind your step and get some good backwards walking, really to get those quads and hip flexors really fired up. Okay, we're gonna do 4 rounds of this. Okay, again, the rep scheme is 8 on the left, 8 on the right, 8 with both. We'll do this 4 rounds. We'll drag the sled back and forth, and we got 10 on each side with those internal rotations. Do not let those hips or chest turn. Have fun.